Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. This is Parth Sane. Uh, in the recent past weeks, we have seen multiple military airstrikes by the Indian Armed Forces on terrorist and military targets on the Pakistanis. For that matter, I don't see the distinction between the Pakistani military and the terrorists, considering they had the funeral. Of some of the terrorists being attended by military officials as well. To top it off, the extent to which all these things happened were pretty amazing. We had airstrikes conducted. The last couple of days, we had our Air Marshal Bharti. He came onto the press podium and briefed us all about it. And then now we can see some of the things that which were being discussed. For instance, we are able to see that there is the Bahawalpur terror infra that was demolished. Uh, we are able to see that there's the Murdi K terrorist target, which is was bombed, and then the same was bombed using that kind of munition that you can see on the screen here. And then the area is highlighted over here. So this is going to be playing in the background, but the point I'm trying to make here, ladies and gentlemen, is that Pakistan is not innocent in its support for terrorism. I know they have been a sponsor of terrorism through hosting Osama bin Laden and others. There have been so many of India's most wanted terrorists who are believed to be living inside Pakistan, including people from the former uh, Mumbai underworld, and there will be several others that are pending and missing and most wanted in India. The problem in this whole situation is that Pakistan refuses to accept the difference between having a professional military and terror targets, and the problem is compounded by the fact that they refuse to acknowledge that they have a problem with terror. Some of their ministers come on Sky and others and say, "Oh, we have been doing this dirty work for the terrorists for a really long time." But does it really matter when all your people are in this kind of situation where the country is run by the military? Even Secretary Rubio made a phone call directly to General Asim Munir, who's supposed to be the head of the Pakistani army or Fauj. And if you think about it, a normal leader or a normal kind of sane individual, pardon the pun, will be inclined to go and vote for the option of calling the prime minister of a democratically elected country. But that is absolutely not the case in Pakistan, and everybody knows clearly why. Um, and personally, like the last few days have been very intense for me and a bunch of other Indians, like whoever are going through this for the first time. Many young people, my parents and others who are from the previous generation, have seen war and conflict in a much different way than we could ever appreciate. And these are the images that you see are just the highlights of what is being released, and there is other things like potential rumors about nuclear and everything like that, which are being spread. Those are yet not known, but to to start off with, we just need to think about what is possible, what is not, what lies in the state of future for India. Yesterday, on the 12th of May, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, we had the Prime Minister of India address the nation and inform us about all of the tactics that have been employed by the Pakistanis to try to uh, spread terror among the Indian people, and the kind of incident that happened in Pahalgam, and the kind of support that we have received in some ways. I would argue we have been fortunate to have our strong armed forces behind our back and support us, and we should do that as well whenever we have the possibility of the situation. To think of it, the next thing that comes to mind is the uh, entire war doctrine has been changed. If you look at what is being discussed now, once the war doctrine has been changed, any kind of terror will not be tolerated, and Operation Sindoor is currently on pause, and as long as the ceasefire is respected and Pakistan is going to focus on this terror, it will be on pause. And we will only talk, that is, the Indian government will only talk to Pakistan on the issue of POJK and on the issue of any kind of terror activities and nothing else. The Indus Water Treaty still remains in the abeyance, and it seems like it will be for the foreseeable future. As you can see, my X feed is full of content that is about Operation Sindoor. Some of the people that I was following for this have been, Patikrit right here. Some of his opinions were very interesting to understand. Some of our, reporters that were doing great job were included Shivarur right here, and I've been using his post to understand like what was going on, and the highlight of everything is that the reporting has been accurate and with as much as possible. Even as we read and see, we are able to see that even right now there seems to be some kind of a operation going on in Kashmir. Things haven't exactly cooled down yet. There's probably anti-terrorist ops going on there. We've seen a lot of work on the aspect of not falling to saber rattling. I think just coming back to what I was saying earlier is with Operation Sindoor and the briefing or the speech by Prime Minister Modi, we mentioned very clearly that we will not tolerate any kind of nuclear saber rattling. That is just not acceptable, and we are not falling prey to that. The Navy also had its role in making sure that Pakistan's Air Force was all surrounded by in the Arabian Sea, right outside the exclusive economic zone that Pakistan has, and making sure that it's all, cooped up and it's not able to fly anywhere. Shivaru reports on the same. There's a lot of open source, info that I was able to understand. There were posts from Austin TV, and TV. So this is another handle that I used to follow to see open source intel. Adi's podcast as well has been pretty useful in trying to understand the different kinds of maps that are covered and other kinds of tactical coverage that perhaps is requires deeper study that somebody like me who works full time is not able to handle. But this is some of the people you can follow: Jaipur Dialogues, Adi Achint, and others. What was absolutely amazing was how woefully off guard the Pakistani Air Force was caught in this whole debacle, where we saw a bunch of air defenses getting destroyed. Lahore air defense was destroyed. Many radars and other kinds of military hardware that was just not possible to be able to be defended. The arguably the Indian Air Force had a almost absolute kind of air superiority, if not absolute air superiority. I feel like we could have gone much further, but the objectives of Operation Sindoor from the time it began remain limited, at least from what I understand. But we are not going to back down on terrorism. So, this is my short take on what's going on and what's happened. Thank you for your time.